Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, today we are going to talk about the formula part, basically, that is 118th number. And this is basically related to Bollywood industry, basically. So, Bollywood industry says that entire software industry is created by Bollywood user stories, basically. That is basically with the help of theaters, with the help of the serials, and with the help of the movies, basically. So from this, one of the user stories, basically the entire software industry got created, and according to that user stories, only the according to that user story, only the basically the software industry, that software industry is going to grow, basically. So like this, basically the software industry basically is created by the Bollywood industry. That also you can say. So here basically we will decide basically which are all the base software company basically which was created by the Bollywood industry, and on the base of that basically the entire uh, software got created in this world, basically where basically the retail industry groups are using that software. So base software like Salesforce, SAP, Microsoft, C++, COBOL, mainframe, Java, then .NET. .NET comes into Microsoft basically. Then C++, that basically we have already taken. Then it's D2K. Then basically for Pascal is there, COBOL is there. So these all are basically the Oracle is there. Like this PHP is there, Python is there, Python is there. So like this basically the WordPress basically that is basically comes inside the PHP basically. So PHP basically has created the WordPress basically. That is basically one of the uh, you can say ready-made tool basically where you can able to create lots of types of software for lots of types of websites basically you can say like shopping websites, ready-made designing software, so websites like this. Basically, there are many ready-made templates available in the WordPress, and on the base of that template, basically, you can able to create the websites, and basically you can publish the website because you will get the one user ID and password, and on the base of that, basically the websites are created, and there basically the internet database are also there. So that is basically different thing, and that is basically entire things is created in the PHP basically, or it might be Python also. So basically here basically we are not discussing that basically where in which platform basically the WordPress is created. Here we are discussing that how basically the Bollywood industry basically has created this all this base software, and after this base software is created, then basically the other software industry basically like Accenture, Capgemini, Patni, BMC, Genesis, then Allscript, Rishabh Software. Like this, basically, this all software companies basically has created the softwares basically on from this base software. That is basically CRM, ERP, billing software, payroll software is there. Then eMaster is there. Sign in, sign out is there. That is basically contains in the eMaster. Then basically the CRM software is there. Then ERP is there. Like this basically there are contact management system is there. Like this basically there are many softwares basically we can say, and few software are basically customized basically which are basically has to give the requirement. This all are basically you can say a product basically. Product means basically once created then basically it's used it is basically going to use by many companies basically we can say. So many customers basically you can say. So like this basically this is basically related to the software industry basically. Now basically here we are telling that how basically they have created this all this thing. For example, SAP. So first we will see basically why the software industry got created. That is basically first we are going to see. That is basically on the base of human needs basically. So nowadays, basically, the human needs are getting the natural human needs are getting finishing. That's on finishing stage, basically you can say. So natural resource are basically on the finishing stage. So the due to finishing state, basically the natural resources are in the finishing state. Due to this, basically the software industry groups, some basically groups basically that are basically energy groups, basically nuclear company groups, they told that basically we have to find some alternative because we can't die like this. Because if the natural resource will get over, then basically we have to. If we will not get the human needs, then basically mostly people will die. So the group basically who are into the energy level, nuclear energy power companies, they basically told we are not going to die like this. We are going to create the human needs basically by own basically. So like that basically they found few solution basically. That is basically from software energies basically. And software energy contains the set of human data basically. You can say physical data basically, and on the base of and the physical structure of the land and the construction basically, on the base of that basically mixed combination basically we are on the that energy basically, or the mixed combination energy basically we are going to generate the human needs with the help of the nuclear company, energy company, and the power company. So like this basically the software energy was at the source where basically you are going to create the human needs. So this was basically planned. So now basically the question was basically how we are going to differentiate the human needs basically. That SAP is going to create these all human needs. Salesforce is going to create these all human needs. Then Python basically is going to create this all human needs. Then Microsoft is going to create this all human needs. So like this basically we will assume that Microsoft got 4 to 5 human needs creation, Salesforce got 2 to 3 human needs creation, and then if we get one human need creation, then also basically it's a big achievement basically you can say. Because here if you are getting converted into human needs, that means you are going to convert into the lights basically. Your software energies are going to convert to into the lights basically you can say. That is basically universal level lights. Because in this world basically there is no like sun and moon basically, that basically everybody knows now. So the contribution to the universe light basically you can say, that basically is the big achievement. So that basically if you create one human needs also from the software basically, then it's a big achievement basically you can say in the universe basically, because that software is going to 100% going to convert into the universe light basically. So like this basically the Salesforce told that we got 2 to 3 basically human needs. Like the Salesforce told they also got some. C++ also told that they also got some. So like this basically the Microsoft told, then um, C++, Java, they all told that basically we got some, but something basically to create basically. So like this basically the stories of this basically human need creation is ongoing. So like this basically the software company got basically the set of human needs. Before this basically, how basically this company got into the picture. So basically movie creation industry basically, that are basically the Bollywood industry. They basically have created some set of user stories, and on the user that if you are basically into the Microsoft energy, basically, then basically it's going to be this energies only. Basically, it's going to be this story only, going to generate this story basically. So like this, basically, each and every. So basically, in movie, basically, what are the things? Basically, for example, I have told one more thing. Basically, that. Text box equal to 1,000 cities basically you can say, and combo box equal to 1,000 cities creation basically. Like this basically text box is created on the base of 1,000 cities, like this basically that is also told. So here basically the main thing is the story basically on the base of the creation has happened basically. That is basically the text box basically. So now basically here the thing is basically the Bollywood group basically has created the set of stories basically, and thus you stories can be romantic, can be in basically one movie. What are the things basically? If you say this is the movie basically, so then basically what would be the category basically of the movie basically? Lots of people ask basically. Few people says that it's a romantic movie. But in romantic movie, each and everything basically comes basically. So whatever movie is there, that basically contains each and every. aspects. Basically, each and every categories are basically added in that movie. But more basically, if it's a romantic movie, then basically more percentage of the part will be the romantic basically. So like this, basically the movies got created. So on the base of that, certain movies basically you can say, certain set of movies basically you can say. So it's a movie group also basically you can say. On the base of that, basically the software industry got created. So like this, basically each and every stories basically of the movies basically the set of base software got created, and then basically of the set of that. From that set of base software basically the set of other softwares basically that created which are basically getting used for the um, human needs creation basically that basically you can say, and that is used by the human retail industry basically. So like this, basically the I have told one more thing basically. For example, if one city is ongoing basically, city is running, that means everything is going fine with it. The system is running fine, the people are doing their work, each and every things are working, the hospitals are working, the temples are working means it's ongoing basically, there is no problem. So like this, basically government industry is working, the temples are working, the building constructions are working. Like this, basically the retail industry is working, that is basically the shops are ongoing, small shops are ongoing, the mall industry is all ongoing. So like this, basically each and every things are working, right? So that basically assume that that city is basically running by the Bollywood industry. Just assume basically. So this basically I have already discussed basically long before. So the Bollywood industry told that we basically have just only one option, that is basically movie, and that movie is basically tested by us long before basically. Practically things are done basically. So like this, basically each and every movies are tested and they have used in practical life also. So like this, each and every movies are tested practically in any of the city basically you can say. So like this, basically nobody tells that it's practically used. So here basically we are telling that the movie is ongoing. So one city basically running according to one certain movie basically. It can be any movie basically. So basically like this, basically you can say they told that this movie is ongoing for 1 month basically. So like this, basically for 10 days, basically it would be the romantic scene. For few days, basically it would be the some bad scenes. Then few days, basically it would be the scene of the villains. Basically, after few days, they told that there would be some romantic scenes. So like this, according to that, the 1 month city has been divided. 1 month parts basically are divided like this basically, which I told just now. 15 minutes like this, 15 minutes that, 15 minutes romantic, 15 minutes or villain entries, 15 minutes normal scenes basically are going to 15 like this, basically each and every task are basically divided. So like this, each and every basically stuffs are basically divided in the city basically, because this all are basically considered into the big software companies, big companies basically. Reason basically is the small software company basically are by default basically handled by the big software company, that is basically by default, and by the set of clients basically you can say, and the clients basically are connected with the set of groups basically. So it's basically by default it's connected with the Bollywood industry. So this basically I just taken as an example. So like this, basically the Bollywood industry says that we are running like this. So basically like this, the energies are getting generated from the cities basically you can say. So like this, the software industry got created. That is basically the SAP, Microsoft, Salesforce. Like this, basically the text box equal to 1,000 cities got created, because each and every cities basically contains some set of user stories. Like so, for example, text box equal to 1,000 cities. So whatever data basically is going to generate in that from that city basically, that is going to 100% going to connect with the text box only. Combo box data basically are not going to come inside that cities basically you can say. So like this, you can just imagine the mapping also basically how the world is basically getting run getting running basically you can say. So this is basically about a little bit about the Bollywood industry. Formula 118 in 119. Basically, we are going to see a little bit more about the Bollywood industry.